Hello everyone, it is Ycoms here, and welcome back to another stream of the AOR Assetto Corsa League with the Audi TT Cup here for season number 4. We are here for the penultimate round of the season already, and I'm very much looking forward to this one. There's a lot at stake. The championship, both championships actually could be decided already this week, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plans out. As per usual, I'll be joined by Mr. Phil. Hello.
Hello, and I am here.
You're here,
yes.
As per usual. I guess you've been
As
more
per,
here
as
than
per usual.
you've been more here than I was this season, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about the horrors.
about the horrors. Okay, yeah.
The horrors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think anyone else was particularly happy with.
All right,
happened.
I guess we should, you know, explain a little bit why this championship actually could be decided, because we can have a look this time round about what happened last time at Laguna Seca, which is probably was my favorite round of the season, to be honest, because there was so much action on a track you normally don't really see that much, especially in the second race. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how this all pans out. Let's have a look then how these results were looking last time out. So in the first race we had the rookie of Sisu Voima from Finland winning it all. Very surprising win and fantastic performance from him. He won 5 seconds ahead of Hampus Soderberg, the championship leader, who extended his championship lead a little bit over his rival, exited in third. And then was Tom Bridle, Nikimido Sansuke, David Siska, Vernox, who's also been a rookie in that particular race, a very good result for him as well. And Flavius Periculum and Rasmus rounded up the top 10 back then. In race number 2, we saw one of the most cracking races for the victory that I have seen in this league. Keith Camilleri and Terence Gretcher, two RPM esports guys, were nose to tail for the entire race, and they were battling with many other people as well. It was Keith Camilleri who cemented his third place in the championship with that win. Terence Gretsch behind him exited, jumped up into third. He gained back a few points on Hampus Soderberg, who was down in 5th. Matthias Silva and Silva Arrow were between them. Dazzy Oss, Erti also, or Evan, better known as Evan for us two anyway, was in 8th, so very good result for him as well there. David Siska and Sisu Voima, the race 1 winner, finished in the top 10 as well. So in the championship, that means Hampus Soderberg is now leading ahead of Exited by 115 points. There's going to be 50 points per race victory, and we've got 4 rounds left. So basically, after tonight, if Exited is not able to close down the gap to less than 100 points, so he has to gain 15 points on Hampus Soderberg in both of the races today, combined, to still have technically a chance for the championship. But it's going to be very difficult either way. I think we both agree that Hampus really needs to have a shocking round to lose this.
Yeah, I mean, 15 points. I mean, 15 points isn't a huge amount for Exit to try and get over Hampus. It's definitely doable, especially considering, as we've seen in the practice, perhaps right now, Exeter is actually slightly ahead of Hampus. So maybe Exeter can extend the championship one more round. Maybe he can't. All we know is it's been pretty good so far. Yeah,
definitely. And then back down. 3rd and 4th are pretty, Keith Camilleri is pretty much in no man's land as well, 50 points behind Exited, 50 points ahead of Tom Bridle. Behind that, though, it gets a little bit more feisty. You can see the top 10 there at, on the screen there, and you can see the top 11, 11 to 20th back there as well. I'm not going to go too much more into detail into that, because the Constructors' Championship is probably even more difficult to extend to another round, because RPM Esports needs to basically gain over 100 points today on Team Suomi, which obviously consists of Hampus Soderberg, Mr. Alcon, and Sansuke. So that's going to be even more difficult for the RPM Esports guys, even though they did a fantastic job last time round, really, especially in the second race. But it's going to be very difficult for them to extend that championship, to the final round as well. PCDC Neon Racing, the championship the reigning champions Neon Racing down in 4th position for the moment. And yeah, this is how everything stacks up as we are at the end of this practice session. So I think it's time to announce the track we are at here today.
I think it might be, Chris. And I believe I'm right in saying that this is a first. Am I right in saying that? This is a first? First for us here?
Yes, definitely. Oh, definitely. I don't know this track, to be honest.
No one knows this track if you haven't played a certain
game.
Well, game, perhaps. We, for the first time, are at a fictional track. We're at a fictional track, and so we're sitting here and we're trying to work out just exactly how it goes. Just trying to learn it ourselves, much like the drivers. And this is, I mean, this is certainly one of those complete levelers, really, isn't it? You know, everyone's coming into the track for the first time. Probably, I would imagine, or you know, potentially close to a first time. And from what I've seen so far, it's pretty great track. It has a lot of features to it that are quite unique. So the track name is Toscana. I believe it's set in, I'm guessing, the Tuscan Hills in Italy.
Or it's meant to be set anyway. Exactly.
And you'll learn from watching that there's quite a few hills in the track. There's quite a few very unique corners.
Definitely.
To traverse for the drivers. Completely something some corners you just do not see in any other circuit around the world. It also, kind of like Suzuka, has a figure eight style. Well, it has a part of the track which is overlaps over the top of another part. It's not quite in the same way that Suzuka does. It's not about the halfway point. It's just a little bit that loops around. But yeah, this track has kind of a bit of everything, really. Some of the slower corners do look a little bit awkward. I think there could be some potential issues in there in the race, but we'll see. Hopefully, nothing too big. But yeah, that's it. We're at the end of practice. We're now counting down to qualifying. And Chris, look at who's at the top.
Flavus Periculum? Wow. It's very close at the top, actually. Exited and Hamper sort of like right behind him. But that is definitely a surprise. It could be, obviously, most of the guys do not really, you know, use the push to pass in the practice session, because in qualifying it is not allowed anyway. And normally you'd only use it for, you know, when you push to pass, basically. But we don't know that, actually, so that could make a difference as well. But it's definitely, you know, something to keep in mind. And what is a little bit annoying, to be honest, is that, oh my god, so someone is out of the pits here. Sisu Voima out of the pits. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying with the TV cameras, because there's only one TV camera. There are a lot of walls and hills, obviously, here, and normally the cameras are quite zoomed out on Assetto Corsa, so I will struggle a little bit with to find always the right angles, but I'll try my best as per usual. And you obviously can, you only use the onboards anyway, normally.
I do.
So, I forgot actually who's in this first group as well. Berserkman we got Micron, and we got Meekstar, and that's it for drivers. No, the Iceberg is in here as well. He's actually the first guy on the track, and Sisu Voima the second one.
Yes.
This is going to be a little bit of a longer qualifying session, because these laps are obviously over 2 minutes long. So, yeah, he's sitting here a little bit, I guess. Definitely longer than the previous rounds, which consisted of a little bit more shorter tracks. Laguna Seca, I think, was like 120s or something we did round there.
Yeah.
Well,
look at me knowing things. I think so, yes. And if you're on the Iceberg right now, we're just driving under the pitch straight. That's what that tunnel is. It's going under the pitch straight.
I can't find it. Why can't I find it? Okay, but I would prefer to have Sisu Voima as the lap, because I can't actually find... oh shit.
Okay, I'm on Sisu Voima.
Okay, there we go.
Well, I'll attempt to get this right. I'm not 100% sure I know exactly all the corners, but it's an interesting one. But this is the final section of complex. This is the final complex corners. Come around here. Nice purple runoff. Look at all that. It's pinky purple runoff. It's very nice. And onto the straight. Now we're about to go over. So right here is another part of the track underneath this pit straight. That's already unique in itself. But coming up into turn 1, this is a complex of a right-hander, left-hander, and then into another right. Or yes, into another right. Here we go. So you could keep it. You can't really fly it all the way to the left, kind of like in Tour Poznan, and then it's sort of like a jinky little bit here. This is flat out, running down into this sort of really long hairpin right-hander. You got it. It sort of opens up on the left there. You see it's sort of like a little bit of a bump. Maybe unsettles the car, maybe not. Run it out nicely by Cecil on the throttle as early as possible. Running down into this sort of open hairpin, really strange kind of almost double. You got really hit the apex late on that, and then running down into pretty unique corner. This, you know, the carousel at the Nürburgring. Well, this is kind of similar, but perhaps it's flat out.
Yeah.
This is so interesting. You're running it out all the way to the outside, so close to that wall. Every time I've seen them, they're running so close to that wall. You're running it flat out on the backing, a quick right-hander into a quick, really tricky left-hander here. Keep it all together. I've seen so many people running wide, and it's just a little bit wide, but perfect on the exit. And then braking heavy. This is a very tight little corner. And look, this track is so narrow at this point. It kind of reminds you of Virginia. Running down here, running out, an off camber over the hill, banked right, and then into this long left with the nice pink purple runoff down underneath the pit straight into this tunnel. This is a big tunnel. This is super tall. The roof nowhere near you. Very different into this, what is basically just a continuous long right-hander. There's no straight here. It may feel like it's straight. It's completely flat out, but it just keeps curving and curving and curving and curving. Tightens up. Keep it right. You want to keep it right as much as you can, because then you're going to open up this left-right chicane complex to end it. Tightens supremely on the exit. And you got a little bit of understeer there, but then onto the throttle as early as possible to keep it down straight onto the straight. And across the line, Cecil Voima goes 201.9, and that takes him ahead of the Iceberg by almost 3 seconds. Well, just over 3 seconds.
And it's not bad at all, really, I have to say.
Yeah.
And Berserkman coming across the line in 2nd place for the moment, just ahead of the Iceberg. And I think that we are waiting for Microlander, very, that's not a good lap for his standings anyway. Meekster going to 4th position for the moment. That's those 4 done. And is Mr. Alcon the next one to watch at? Or is there someone else already?
Let's have a look. I have a problem with the
tunnel section, right?
Yeah, it sort of flips underneath to the pit lane and then back again.
Well, let's have a look at Mr. Alcon then for this particular round.
Where's Mr. Alcon for you? I can't see him. I can't find him.
That is very, very interesting. At
I
least
can find
he has
Terence Gretsch. Okay, here we go. Mr. Alcon. I should be able to click on time point. Yep, found him.
There we
right.
go. Nicely done. Let's come through the
That
first
really matters for me too much.
First section of corners done already for him. Into this very tight hairpin. It's basically like the inside. Well, it's basically like the inside, you know, thingy. Around that, on the other side, you can. There is actually the carousel section, which goes basically around that whole hairpin, which is kind of cool. Which he is using now, and look at this. Actually, he's using a way different line than Cecil Weimar did before. He's actually not running all the way up on the thing. He tries to go a little bit deeper into into the inside line, to the corner.
Are we boring if everyone did it the same way?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, I'm already a fan of this track. It has literally everything. Whoever did this track really should replace Hermann Tilke. Oh.
Yes.
So there's not many corners left, but there's still a lot of time to you know, left. Basically, this endless left corner. This is actually going to be interesting with, you know, tyre wear maybe towards the end of the race.
Yeah, perhaps Always actually gone a bit wide, has that. This is going to compromise him through that left-hander a little bit. Not much, because as you so you're sort of breaking through that left-hander anyway, but you just can't quite get the perfect line through the right-hander. But it looks like a pretty decent lap from Mr. Alcon so far. Let's see where he goes.
Goes second.
Oh, wow, look at that, though.
It's not bad at all.
2 seconds off Sisu Voima.
Yep. And obviously, you know, you would expect... Oh, Silver Arrow goes second, actually. That is very, very good for him. 1 second only of Sisu Voima. And that is definitely one of the better qualifiers we've seen from Silver Arrow since really quite a while.
It certainly is, yeah.
And
Nick Meadow. Nick Meadow goes third, and
Terence Gretsch. Oh, that's close, actually. That's only a tenth behind.
Yeah, it is. Wow, yeah, it really is. Yeah, Nick Meadow jumped into second, and then Terence Gretsch said, nope, actually, I'm going to be that person there. Okay, so into the next group. Well, we've got...
Dazzy Oz.
Who have we got? Dazzy Oz.
Flavius Periculum on track as well. And a few others, which we will touch on when they cross the line. But Dazzy Oz is the first one to cross the line and start this lap, so I guess we're gonna follow him. Unless he makes a mistake. Much curb there on turn 2, actually. Much more than what we saw with Mr. Alcon before. And into the tight hairpin he will go. That's how much I really can remember from the first part of the track. There we go. A little bit deep, but not too bad at all. And to this middle part of the second, which I really cannot remember much of apart from the carousel, which is coming up, I guess, now?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yay.
So only actually seeing it from the roof camera, from the cars, you can just about see the advertising boards around the carousel when you're coming up into that tight hairpin.
He took basically a similar line to Sisu Voima there. And hitting the apex better than Sisu Voima did. Remember when he went quite a bit wide.
He did a bit.
And now into this a little bit slower section of the track. A lot of elevation going on, and after I think this corner, then there's going to be the endless right corner. There we go. Going through the tunnel and then basically just turning right all the way into the final chicane, basically. There we go. First apex. This next section is flat out. And then want to keep it to the right, as you said before, Phil. He's also understeering quite a bit, actually, is Dazzy Oz. Can he hit the apex for the final corner better than Mr. Alcon? He does, actually. It's quite a good final corner, section of corners there for Dazzy Oz. And where will that put him on the provisional grid? It will put him fourth, just behind Nick Meadow, just ahead of Silver Arrow. And that is actually very good. Flavius Periculum, the fastest man in practice, goes fourth for the moment. Also second off, Nostra goes seventh. And Matt goes sixth for the moment. And with that said, we will, I guess, go on to the next lap. Oh my god, Satsuki is already about to start his lap. And he's definitely one to watch out every single time as Sansuke. And this is crucial, actually, for Team Suomi as well. Terence Gretsch currently in second place. The only RPM Esports guy who has set a lap yet. Mr. Alcon was the first guy of the Team Suomi to set it up, but obviously Mr. Alcon is the weaker of the other two Finnish drivers we've got in this team. And Sensuke is definitely now will definitely now try to attack the pole position of his fellow countryman Sisu Voima.
And just to make things easier, they all have exited in this group as well.
Oh yeah, and Tom Bride. Oh yeah, this is the ridiculous group, isn't it? Yeah, Keith Camilleri as well. So P2 and 3 in the championship, one of the quickest guys in general, and the most consistent probably out of all of them, in the same group. Very wide line there for Sansuke, close to the wall once again. And into the middle part of the track we go, basically. And another left-hander here. It goes a little bit down the hill because before it goes up the hill again. Into the next 2 corners here. Or only 1 corner, basically, because we're now back into the tunnel. There we go. I think that I guess the tunnel is the best like proof that this is not a circuit that normally exists, because no freaking tunnel is that tall.
Well, probably not.
Probably not. Yes, exactly. Into the final 2 corners goes Sansuke, and it's going to be interesting. Where will he line up for the moment? Taking a lot of curb on the final 2 corners. A good exit, I believe so. And what is it going to be for the Team Suomi driver? It is going to be P2, just ahead of Terence Gretsch. And Tom Bridle slots him behind in P number 4. 7 thousandths was Sansuke ahead in the end there. And Keith Camilleri, let's see what he can do. As he's coming through the right-hand corner, exited just ahead of him probably. Crossing the line in a bit.
It's been a pretty decent lap from Exeter, I think.
And where will Exeter go? He's 4th for the moment. He's so close at the top at the moment. Where is Keith Camilleri at the moment? He is going 11th. And that's quite kind of the trend what we've seen from Keith Camilleri, really, in the past, you know, few rounds. Not that strong in qualifying. So in this next group, who have we got? We have got Dangerous Janitor, I think, leading this group. We've got Emin Babaoglu, we have got Justin, we have got Ricardo Machera, and we have got... that's it, I guess. So Dangerous Janitor is leading this particular group into the first corner for him. Currently we've got the top 4 separated by 2.5 tenths. That is definitely very, very close. And I think there are 2 groups left now. We've got 23. Yeah, 2. I think 2 groups left. Or 3 now.
You're correct.
I believe so. It could be 3 actually, but I'm not sure.
Well, I would hope it wouldn't be 3 groups with only 4 drivers left after this group.
Yeah.
I imagine that non-runner, Morvik, Evan, and Hampus will all be together.
Yeah, I guess
in the final group.
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah. So this is the penultimate group then. With maybe Dangerous Janitor, one of the stronger ones in this one. Is he gonna... no, he's also going to the inside line there. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. We've only seen that from Mr. Alcons so far on board. And into the left-hander we go. Very, very easy taken there. Obviously, you know, it's always like very, very interesting to see how much risk these drivers really take. There are really some who, you know, just are very, very clean about it, but just not, you know, not going to the absolute edges of the track. And we saw really some drivers who had some multiple issues with this one-shot qualifying thing. I can only think of Matt, for example, who's been struggling quite a bit, I believe, in qualifying over the course of the season. Microlander is one of them as well.
Yeah, it's actually interesting watching on board all these 4 in this group. Every single one of them took that carousel corner very slightly differently.
That's very interesting. Dangerous Janitor open up the final few corners a little bit more than the other drivers. It's coming around the final corner. And it's actually been a very tight lap for Dangerous Janitor. Well, will that put him on the grid? And it's going to be probably... yeah, it's 14th for the moment. Just behind Nostra, just ahead of Astrid Aslani. And the final group is already underway. I believe so anyway. Non-runner is leading that group, or is he? No, it is Hampus Soderberg who will be leading the group. Justin Mufsa goes into 19th position for the moment. Ricardo Machera in 21st. And Emin Babaoglu, I think, was in 24th. Is that correct?
Yes. 24th.
Alright, so the championship leader He's got his rival in 4th for the moment, so it's been a decent qualifying for Exeter, but it's not, maybe not just quite enough to really scare Hampus Soderberg here as he's going on his flying lap. And we, well, the last 2 qualifiers actually, Hampus both messed up kind of for his standards anyway. Started 9th for Laguna Seca, and I think also the round before that was not really too good. But so far we haven't really seen many people really faltering in their qualifying, apart from maybe Microlander. Or not massively anyway. So let's see what Hampus Soderberg can do. He's going to take the line that the fastest guys have been taken through the carousel. Just keeping on the high line there. And they're still the 2:01 mark, only beaten by Sisu Voima for the moment. It could be another finish 1, 2, 3 in a qualifying session. It's not wouldn't be the first time we'll see that in this season. Finnish drivers in general in AOR quite highly represented, you would say. So anyway,
I would say.
And there's only 3 corners to go, basically. Well, a few more apexes than that, but basically only turning right now for Hampus Soderberg until the final 2 corners. That was actually a very, very nice corner. Took a lot of speed through there. Let's see, is he gonna open up the next section of the track a little bit more? He does! A little bit more than the others. Nice apex there as well. Out of the final corner goes Hampus Soderberg. Can he take pole position? That would be, well, he would bounce back basically for Sisu Voima. It's Sisu Voima versus Hampus Soderberg across the line, and Hampus Soderberg is back on his top level.
Well, that's mighty impressive. It did look like a very strong lap. He hit a couple of the apexes that other people just seemed to not be able to hit. We also had, who do we have across the line just there? Non-runner.
Exactly a second behind. Morvik goes 5th. That's a good qualifying for him. We haven't seen Morvik in the last few rounds really. And then there's Evan, the last one to cross the line. But if I can find him, oh,
it's just coming through the final corner. He's missed the second to last corner's apex by quite a bit. Hits the final corner's apex nicely, but he would have carried a lot less speed through there. Let's see where he ends up. Obviously currently 28th. Where does he finish? Up into 20th. So he just pushes everyone out of the top 20.
Yep. And this is the qualifying concluded then. So we got a finish 1, 2, 3, and we got Hampus Soderberg on pole position, and that is not really a surprise, but it's the first time since round number 4 that we have seen Hampus Soderberg on pole position, really. And I guess with that said, you're gonna do your thing again with the formation lap, while I will, well, at least try to go through the grid.
I'm gonna do my thing. I'll see you in a second.
Yes, definitely. Okay, I'm actually gonna go through the grid. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go through the grid when things are actually settled down and my camera doesn't mess up all the time. That would be very, very cool. It's sometimes really hard to the starting procedures really on this game, but you know, for the cameras at least, because they seem to have a tendency that they just do not really like to order up normally. But anyway, there's 1 minute to go until we can start this race. Well, until we can start basically the formation lap, we will wait for Mr. Phil. Let's actually go on board with him if we can find him. Okay, I have a problem here. I cannot switch. I had that before, didn't I? Where I can't switch between any driver other than Sansuke or Morvik. I hope that fixes itself once we go on the way here on the formation lap. And yeah. Obviously our eyes will be focusing on Hampus Soderberg and Exited. Can Exited close the gap to, well, to amount where he still has the chance to do something, or will it all be over very, very, very soon in in 2 hours basically, We've got 15 laps in this particular race, so quite a long race actually as well. And the lights are out. We're gonna wait for Phil, and hopefully then I can change between drivers, because that would be very, very, very helpful. Oh my god. There goes Phil in the Lamborghini. Wait, is that a Lamborghini? That would be sick, to be honest. Camera, what is going on? There we go. So, into turn number 2 we go. Hello, relative. I would be pleased if you would show me... Yeah, there we go. Yeah! So I know someone who would be very, very pleased about seeing a Lambo there up in first position. Wink, wink. Not sure if he's watching. But, yeah. Phil leading the way. Doing his usual thingy here on the formation lap. And then we will have a single file start as per usual. Hampus Soderberg will lead the way then. This is actually only this, yeah. Has he let a rolling start yet? From the beginning? I'm not too sure. I think he has done so far. As my frames also make game having a little bit of a meltdown, so sorry about that. This is a track obviously that I've never really used on Assetto Corsa before, and it could be that it might cause one or the other issues, at least when the field is close together. So let's actually go quickly through the grid. We have Hampus Soderberg, we've got Sisu Weimar, we've got we got Sansuke, Terence Gretsch, Morvik, and exited down in 6th position. Actually got moved down from Hampus Soderberg and Morvik. So I mean, still it was very, very close. I don't think Exeter can be, you know, not too well. Can't be too disappointed with his lap, but maybe not really the position he wanted in the end. Tom Bridle, then non-runner Nick Mido, and Flavius Periculum running up the top 10 after leading the practice session. Then it's Desi Oz, then we've got Matt, then we've got Silver Arrow a little bit higher up than we've seen him really this season so far, most of the time. Keith Camilleri in 14th, another, you know, qualifying where you think like, alright, he's probably going to be one of the contenders for the second race, maybe, if he doesn't move up too much in the order. David Siska, Nostra, well, started the season quite strong, didn't he? But all cooled down a little bit for him after the first few rounds. Then David Just Janetta, Astrid Azlani, Mr. Alcon, then Evan, then Berserkmere, then the Iceberg, Justin Mifsud, Mixta, Ricardo Machera, Microlander, Mattia Silva, and Emin Baba Oglu, and oh, there's someone. Okay. Not sure if there's been an issue with exited, but apparently it is all fine. So Phil has already pulled into the pits, and the eyes are on Hampus Soderberg. When will he launch? I'm gonna go on board with Sansuke here from 3rd position to see this starting procedure unfold. Exited in 6th. What can he do out of this position? We've seen some incredible drives from him. So Hampus Soderberg leading the way. He's not accelerating just yet.
Your car's on the track.
Yes, I just saw it. Thank you. And Hampus Soderberg is leading the way. Oh my god, I really need to write this down for next season. Anyway, round number 7, race number 1 is on the way. And Sisu Weimar's challenging for the outside into turn 1, but he can't quite pull it off against Hampus Soderberg. And the order behind that remains the same as that is actually Morvik who... No, wait. Morvik ahead of Terence Gretsch? No. Who is that then?
No, Terence is 4th, Morvik is 5th. That's exited in 3rd.
Okay. For me, exited is in 28th. That is just brilliant.
Yes, because exit had a little bit of a desync in the formation lap, so he is where he is on the track, and that's where he is. Okay,
so we have to keep that in mind then. Exited up into 4th position then. No, 3rd position even. 4th, yeah, okay. So the 3 Finnish drivers leading. They're side by side in the carousel. Nostra on the inside there of David Siska, but David Siska obviously with the higher line. You've got the better exit, and he's got the position back straight on the Hoonigan racing car.
Yeah, it looks like it's opened up really clean.
Oh, there's an incident.
I had to say it, didn't I?
Yeah. He had to curse everyone. There's Evan off the track. I'm not kind of sure who he affected with him. As they're still battling going, there was nearly 3 wide into at the exit of that thing. That's dangerous. Janetta nudging the wall there after contact with Nostra, and that allows Astrid Aslani to go through both of them. Let's see how it is at the front. Hampus Soderberg just ahead of Sisu Weimar. Those are pretty close together still. Sansuke just following, and Terence Gretsch following exited. Then we've got Morvik, Tom Bridle behind, non-runner, Nick Meadow, Flavius Periculum, and Flavius Periculum rounding up the top 10 for the moment. And exited is definitely not DNF'd, isn't he? That's just
exited is going.
He's going. No, oh, wait.
I think unless he is disappeared.
He's disappeared. Yeah, for me he's disappeared. For me he's DNF'd. For me he's DNF'd.
Yeah, I think this might be a desync thing. He might come back. He might not. We'll see. Hopefully he pops back in, because otherwise the championship will be over within the first race.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I hope really that this been. Yeah, he's now back, but that is gonna not help at all. This is huge for the championship for Hampus Soderberg, who's leading at the moment. He's probably not even, you know, caring about it too much for the moment. We got Nick Meadow overtaking non-runner up the inside into the carousel. He's staying on the inside line, and he's had a poor run out of there, but non-runner, can he do anything on the exit? He's got a better exit. I think he had to back out a little bit, and that means that Nick Meadow will maintain that particular position.
Yeah, you think you'd be able to try and get down the inside of that left-hander, even if it is quite quickly, but that little kink to the right just makes it so that you're running a bit too narrow to make it work. And then you sort of run through it. I think this will probably be single file all the way through here. This very, very nice and pretty corner. Look at that. Look at all the pink and purple. Why don't I have more runoffs like that in real life?
I don't know.
Good times. Running down this tunnel with the massive fans up above. And the fans and the people in the grandstands as well.
It is a lovely track, isn't it? Good choice, really, to the coordinators to add this track to the calendar. It is really, really enjoyable so far to see it. And it is Sansuke, the first one of the top 4, really, to use a push to pass. Exit is back on track, by the way, but he's a lap down now. Or 2 laps even, according to my screen, but now probably 1 lap and a little bit. At least he might get reversed in the end. That would be at least something, you know, for him.
Yeah, he's actually back on track, but he is now actually down, isn't he? So this is, unfortunately for Exited, this looks like it's probably game over.
Yeah. For
championship. Not.
I mean, the chances were slim anyway. We knew that
they were
before.
Always massively slim. I mean, him outscoring Hampus by 15 points. He had out as well by 16, I think it was, to keep the championship alive. It would have come to life, but it would have been 100 points. It would have had to mean that Hampus didn't score at all in the final round, and Exeter win both races. So that's how slim we're talking.
Definitely.
Slim as well is the lead at the front.
Yeah, definitely. Caesar Weimar used to push to pass to keep up within the carousel. Now he's closer again, really, to Hampus Soderberg, but he's not really close enough as we go into this tight section where overtaking is probably pretty much impossible. As I say that, though, Sansuke is very, very close. That's actually... Yeah. That was just a stupid wall in the way, which I actually couldn't see the attempted pass there, but Sansuke is through, and it is a Team Suomi 1-2, which is going to cement their position in that particular team championship as well. Sisu Weimar down into 3rd. Terence Gretsch doing a great job in 4th for the moment, and there's a huge scrap with Morvik and Tom Bridle there for P5 and 6.
And as they come through this long right-hander coming up into this final section of corners. Look like he fell a bit further back in that long right-hander, actually. I've seen that a bit. The cars, when they're trying to follow, don't quite have that run as they'd like out of there. As we have, it's now the sort of Keith Camilleri, Dazios, Flavius Periculum, Matt, and... Oh,
There's
Yes,
Mr.
and Matt as well.
Yep.
Is that Nick? Non-runner. It's non-runner. It's non-runner. The person in the front of the group. It took me a while to find him. Silver Arrow part of this as well, of course.
Yep. And it's quite a big group. From non-runner down to Silver Arrow. Behind that, Mr. Alcon, I think, got the better of David Siska. Oh my god, that was a lag. I thought for a moment.
Did he look like he was about to go into the wall?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh,
and again a little bit. The iceberg does a good job, actually, I think, to avoid hitting the back of Dangerous after he hit the back.
Ooh, pass for P number 5.
Morvik, yeah, Tom Bridle does Morvik.
With a push to pass.
Yeah, push to pass. And no, Morvik looks like he's lagging a little bit for me. Just jumping a little bit around is going on there. And he's back up. He's just jumped forwards again.
Yeah.
Okay.
All these lag issues will, well, get down a little bit. Exited.
We now have. Oh, Sisavoima. He's closed back up onto Sansuke. Close-ish. Not quite.
And those three are definitely pulling away from Terence Gretcher.
Oh,
There's no way he can, you know, stay with them. And someone who's really harvesting the push to passes really is Morvik here in the early parts of the stages, but he's still losing time. He's actually been caught now by Nick Mido even. Surely Nick Mido can't go around the outside into this corner, which is just showing his nose. Opening up this part of the corner a little bit. Maybe he has a chance then down the straight with a push to pass if he uses one. And he decides not to. I believe so anyway. But can he do it without it? I wonder. No, into turn 1 is a little bit too far back. That was very close between the two.
That was super close between the two. Yeah, she did a very good job to get that stopped in time. Oh, what are we looking at?
Oh, that's contact between Flavus Perigno and Dazios.
Oh no.
That will drop them both down. Mr. Alcon goes through just about. And they're now down into 13th and 14th respectively. That is Dazios wants it. Oh no, that's not Dazios. That's David Siska trying to go around the outside. Yeah.
Tried to go around the outside of the cars and ended up going around slightly the outside of the track.
Oh, Morvik, what are you doing? Morvik?
He's dropping, yeah.
Morvik.
He's having a bit of a drop.
Morvik is in a pit.
Well, I wonder if that's a lag.
But he didn't go straight, like he stopped, like he literally stopped. So
maybe they were telling him he had too many lag issues and he's pulled over.
That could be as well. That could be as well. There's a battle for second position though. Sisavoima went up the inside. Can he? Wow, he's holding around the outside into that corner, and that gives him the advantage into the left-hander before the tunnel, and he's made the move stick once again. Great battling between the two Finns, but it obviously has enabled Hampus to have a lead of 2.5 seconds already.
Yeah, they've really pulled themselves back with this fighting, but it's exactly what Sansuke does not want. Sisavoima was probably not too fussed about putting Sansuke back, but Sansuke is going to have a much better line through this left and then surely the right as well. So this could open. Oh, he had to just turn out of the corner there. Turned in slightly too early. That's probably paid dearly for this any attempt at passing in turn 1, but there's a lot of the race left. We're not even halfway yet.
No. Only one of the longer races we will have, or one of the longer nights we will have in this league. And Morvik is actually disconnected, so that is very, very unfortunate for the Polish driver. After such a good qualifying, I think it was his best qualifying of the season, really. Well, since he joined this league at the end of last season, it was. Promoted Nick Mido up into 6th position. Everyone else really gained a position. There is something going on. Madness!
Ooh! Contact between Mr. Alcon and Flavus Perigno as he just went too deep into the... Oh, Flavus really trying to fight back. And he's now side by side with Dazios, who was watching it all unfold behind.
I mean, I can understand Flavus Perigno's frustration, because first the incident with Dazios, now the incident with Mr. Alcon. The leader of the
pack for David Siska, but
Yeah, he's using the push to pass. It's David Siska.
Surely he can't go to the inside here. Oh, that's an interesting. Has he just bumped him there a little bit? I'm not sure.
A little bit. Ooh.
So that's interesting. I didn't know. I didn't think he was able to get it, keep it on the inside there, because I thought the banking would just mean that you could go flat out. But it looks like he was able to keep it nicely through there. And so Flavas always coming back down the inside, is he? He's attempting it, and that means that Davis isn't going to run wide. He's on the grass, and Flavas takes that position back. He's got to watch out for Dangerous, as perhaps sensibly Dangerous does not try to dive in there.
Yep. Those guys are very, very hot here in the penultimate round, I have to say.
Yeah, the pinks made them angry.
Yeah, probably. So, who have we got close on track as well? Non-runner and Matt. Matt up into 7th position. So, good first few laps there from Matt.
Then it seems to me, Daziel's away we go. Mr. Alcon versus Daziel's again. Into the third to last corner. The long right-hander continuing. Daziel's just on the inside. Now he's on the outside. Mr. Alcon on the inside. Solely side by side through here. And then side by side again. Mr. Alcon holds it really nicely through there. Now Daziel's just to watch out for Flavas Curriculum on the inside.
With the push to pass.
The push to pass. Yeah, Daziel's not using one to defend yet. It looks like Flavas will have this move here done. As long as he doesn't go too deep, actually. It's Daziel's that sort of runs a little bit wide as well through there. Flavas now on the charge and hoping to catch Mr. Alcon, who goes a bit wide through there. See, that seems to be Mr. Alcon's line, actually, because that's exactly what he did earlier when there was the contact between himself and Flavas.
Yeah.
And he runs deep into that as well, and he's not going to be able to get on the throttle as early as he'd like, and that means Flavas is going to have he's going to close up. Is he going to have a run into this hairpin? He's a little bit too far back for that, I would say, but you never know.
This group is absolutely fascinating to see. They absolutely drop behind Silver Arrow and all the others. But, ooh, that is both actually using a push to pass. Can Flavas go up the inside? I don't think he will be able to. Switch back from Mr. Alcon on the exit. Brilliant racing between the two. And Mr. Alcon defends that position with a switch back in the carousel.
Yeah, I did want. That's the sort of thing I might have expected to happen earlier with I think it was Siska and Flavas. I thought Flavas might just be able to get back on the inside, down to the inside, due to being on the outside and having the better run with the banking. But it seems that you do have a decent amount of grip on the inside, more than I was expecting. But obviously not enough for Flavas to keep it there against Mr. Alcon.
Yep, definitely. Side by side between Nostra and Matthias Silva down the order. And Nostra, I think, got the better of that one.
Sansuke is really up behind Susa Voima now.
Ah, yes. And Sansuke is... Oh, and Exit had to rejoin again, I believe. Both using the push to pass on a straight. And Sansuke only with 3 push to passes left. He's really harvesting those. He's really trying to get this move done against Sisu Voima. Well, this group here, Matt, Non-Runner, Keith Camilleri and Silva are actually holding on to this one as well. Ooh! Okay, it looked for a moment that Keith Camilleri had a very bad run, but he actually had a better run now out of that corner. Can he go around the outside into the hairpin? That's gonna be brave. But Non-Runner is late on the brakes. Oof. Just closing up there. But they're gonna remain in the same order.
Non-Runner does a really good job to just sit on the apex. Flavas versus Mr. Alcon's going for a second run, and there's contact again between the two of them. And that means, well, look at that, it's Daziel's back ahead, and Dangerous Genius this time. And now Flavas trying to get on the outside of this left-hand hairpin. Looks like Dangerous is just going to get that done. Flavas has to watch out for David Siska again. Now is Flavas going to attempt another move up on the inside here? You can get the initial run on the inside if you do it, as Daziel's is doing with Mr. Alcon right ahead. Can Mr. Alcon do the same thing he did to Flavas? How is contact between Dangerous and Flavas behind as well? Dangerous goes round. Flavas, he's braking on the track. And a car's hit him right from behind, and that's not good.
No, definitely not. I was so excited about the Flavas Curriculum back into the pits. That is very, very unfortunate. I just was about to celebrate Mr. Alcon's defense once again. He did the exact same thing twice in a row now on 2 different drivers. That is majorly impressive.
Mr. Alcon probably hoping he doesn't have to keep on doing that, because it is literally He's doing it. He's done it 2 laps in a row now. Hopefully he doesn't have to do it, because otherwise he's just going to be in a whole world of pain, having to continue defending the same way. But here we go. Dazios again, closing up.
Ooh, wide from Mr. Alcon. That's going to give Dazios the opportunity. Mr. Alcon with a push to pass, though, to defend the position.
It's certainly interesting. How many does Dazios have left?
5.
Oh, Mr. Alcon's deep, though. Mr. Alcon's deep. Dazios running outside of the second part, and that's going to move done unless Mr. Alcon can fight back here. Although, again, we've seen Mr. Alcon's line through here. It's very strange. He doesn't seem to take the fastest line through there.
No.
Now, well, will Dazios be able to pull away now? Mr. Alcon super late on the brakes here, trying for the better exit, and yeah, he gets one, and then Dazios might just have to be a little bit wary here coming into this hairpin. He does go slightly defensive. Mr. Alcon going to be able to open up this hairpin this time, and that on the throttle earlier. Dazios, although he sort of takes a bit of time getting on there. It's always the problem with those sort of long corners where you don't really know to get on the throttle. It's so easy to just be a bit too late and understeer off, especially in these cars.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, this battle between Matt Nonrunner and Keith Camilleri and Silver Arrow is really going to be interesting, because they all still have 7 or 6 push to passes left with 5 laps to go. They are really, you know, just sitting behind each other, just waiting, just watching what is going to happen. This is going to be some exciting last 5 laps in the battle for P number 7. While Tom Bridle and Nick Meadow are still pretty close together. And Nick Meadow has 7 push to passes left as well. So he has the chance. And Sisu Voima has actually dropped Sansuke behind him now.
He has, yes. Non-runner's going to have a better run through here than Matt, although just took a little bit too much speed through that left-hander, it looks like. That's allowed Keith to close up. Or is this the time that Keith goes for
everyone on the push to pass. Everyone
on the push to pass, but Keith has the better run. But he's not quite alongside enough, and but non-runner's going to go off the track. That's going to be a corner cut. He's gone off to just avoid having any issues, and that's going to be position lost. Obviously no advantage gained by cutting the corner there. And now Silver looking ahead, and non-runner looking behind. Looks like he's just a bit too far behind his Silver Arrow, though.
Yes, definitely. That's opened up the gap to Matt, though. That's definitely going to be relieving for him.
It is indeed.
And, yeah, with 4 laps to go, the battle behind, actually, Dazios, Mr. Alcon, Dazios seems like to pull away just a tiny bit here from the other 2, although Mr. Alcon closing in a little bit on the braking zone here again. But I think it's definitely the first part of the track where Mr. Alcon is definitely using time to his competitors.
Oh, this could be the one for Nick Meadow and Tom Bridle for 5th. Nick Meadow now has the inside line into this tight left-hander. And looks like he's going to go through. Is Tom Bridle going to be able to switch back? He's going to be on the left here, but that's going to open up this right-hander. If he can get it done without running to the back of Nick Meadow, he's going to run to the right. He's now slightly alongside into this. Can he do the same trick here? Or is Nick Meadow going to sit nicely on the apex? He does try to do that, but Tom Bridle's seen that, and he's trying to go to the outside to get the better exit. So he's still there. He hasn't been put off and not been able to use the throttle by Nick Meadow. And here we go, side by side, perhaps into this corner. Oh, it's a flat out. It's close to flat out. It's a very quick corner, that. And it looks like that Nick Meadow is just going to hold on here. Can Tom Bridle fight back? He's opening up this corner. He's going to attempt a run down into turn 1, but he's a bit too far back for that.
Nick Meadow with the push to pass as well. Nick Meadow has now, after this one, has still 5 push to passes, and I think Tom Bridle needs a little bit of a miracle here to get back, or needs, well, a mistake from Nick Meadow here to get back into business. Because once you're out of push to passes on the final few laps, you really don't have a chance to make the moves.
That does seem to be fair, yes. It's like, the straights aren't super long.
No.
There's not really that many really heavy braking zones. all the straights sort of lead on to relatively quite fast corners.
Yeah, apart from maybe the hairpin coming up now.
The hairpin, yeah.
David Siska and Mr. Alcon coming up now. David Siska actually made the pass on Mr. Alcon somewhere around last lap. They actually got exited behind them 4 laps down. Yeah, I hope that exit gets reversed. That would be at least something. But with only 3 and a bit laps to go, we've got Hampus Soderberg inside. He's leading by 5.5 seconds. He set the fastest lap of the race. Last lap, actually. 2:01.2. Which is incredible, to be honest. And with 3 laps to go after this short bit here, he will be the 4th different champion in 4 seasons? Question mark? No. Wait. No, Laxo has 2 championships, hasn't he? Season 2 and... No. No. Who won Season 2 again?
Was it Pops?
Oh yeah, Pops. Then we got Laxo Season 3, Hampus Soderberg probably Season 4. We don't want to jinx anything yet because there's still 3 laps to go for the Finn. But it could be another Scandinavian who's gonna win this league. After Diablo, actually, who's not Scandinavian, I believe so anyway, won the first season, which we didn't cover on the live streams. But after that, Pops being Swedish and the 2 Finns, Laxo and Hampus Soderberg. Laxo obviously would have been one to watch out for this season as well, but unfortunately obviously retired before the season has even started. And let's see who is still battling. Nick Meadow has absolutely dropped Tom Bridle here. That is majorly impressive, I have to say, from Nick Meadow here. Strongest result from him of the season by far, in my opinion.
I mean, he certainly performed very well. He's done a few nice bits of defence. He's done a nice overtake on Tom Bridle, and he's now, as you say, pulling away. Is he quicker than Terence Gretsch? Obviously, there's not enough time for him to catch, but it looks like he's going at nice speed.
And Non-Run is also, you know...
Silver Arrow.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
And inside, here we go. Is this going to be the thing?
It's not going to work.
Not going to work now. He's lifted off through the middle of the carousel. He's actually going to lose a lot of time to Non-Runner by doing that.
Definitely.
Perhaps he didn't feel confident enough that he could keep the car low enough without making contact. Taking perhaps the sensible route. As we have, actually, it's Microlander versus Dangerous Gianetta here. Through the carousel. Micro's definitely got the better run out the corner.
Off the inside.
Although he then had to keep turning whilst Dangerous Gianetta had it straight, so he scrubbed a tiny bit of more speed off than he would have liked, and that means Dangerous is going to keep ahead for now. But Microlander running some good pace. Oh, Dangerous is going to hit the wall. That could have ended up in tears for the both of them, but luckily that wasn't too bad. It wasn't a big hit in the wall, and he didn't bounce far enough on the track to cause Microlander any issues. But now, Justin Mifsud is on the attack.
Another
fastest. He looks quicker than both of them. Another fastest lap for Hampus.
Oh yes, another fastest lap. He's pulling out 1.3 seconds per lap on his 2 competitors behind him now. It is ridiculous. Showing just as he is about to wrap up this championship why he has been the best this season, although we didn't see him accurately winning as much in the last 2 rounds. Still being consistent, but not maybe the fastest all around. But he's still on there, there's only 2 laps to go. Justin Mifsud actually coming under pressure now from Dangerous Gianetta once again. So I'm not really sure if Justin is gonna be able to do anything about it. Another strong, really, performance from RPM Esports. All drivers in the top 15, but Team Suomi is just doing better. They have all drivers in the top 13, and two drivers on a podium at the moment. So that is just how dominant Team Suomi has been this season. Even though Sansuke may not have been had the best season he could have had, really, with the pace he's normally got. So let's see. Who is still close? Who is still close on track?
It's pretty much between Nostra and Microlander is sort of the closest group, I think. No, Silver Arrow and Non-Run are still relatively close to Keith Camilleri, who's sort of fallen off the back a little bit of Matt.
I think Nostra has actually a chance here to attack Dangerous Janetta out of the corner. And he's gonna go up the inside.
Or is he going to be alongside enough to then make this move into this lamb dandy? He'll have to brake earlier. But he's done it. He's done it very well as well.
Nice one. Nice move for Nostra. Up into 16th position after a poor start to the race. Gaining a few positions once again. There it is then. Hampus Soderberg will start the final lap of the race. And we've exited down in 25th position for the moment. That means, if it stays like this, the championship, we will have a new champion in the Assetto Corsa League on the PC side. This time round in the Audi TT Cup. And once again, it has been decided, it will be probably decided one race before, well, 1 week before it actually all ends. Laxo did the same last season. Pops actually was almost confirmed in the penultimate round. We thought he was confirmed, but we didn't. It actually wasn't. There's only a few corners to go. Obviously, we're going to go straight back to battling if still something happens behind, but it seems like things have really slowed down. David Siska and, well, David Siska and Dazzy Oz may be coming round, but there's not really too many corners left for Hampus Soderberg. There's only this left-hander into the tunnel we go. And then it is only 3 corners to go for Hampus Soderberg on the way to clinch his first title in this league, in his first season in this league. We knew before the season from other games, from AOR in general, that he is a fast person, but he really showed us how fast he is. Only this one corner, these 2 corners here to go for Hampus Soderberg. Out of the final corner, here he comes to be the new champion in the Assetto Corsa League on the PC tag. Congratulations, Hampus Soderberg. You are the champion for this season.
Yes, he is, and I mean, you can't really say he hasn't deserved it. I think it's fair to say.
Definitely. Definitely. Sisu, Voima and Sansuke rounding up a Finnish lockout once again, basically. Terence Gretsch for RPM Esports doing the best job once again in that machine. Nick Meadow in 5th, and Tom Bridle coming home in 6th, and Matt in 7th. Keith Camilleri and then non-runner, and then Silver Arrow in a very good top 10 for him as well. David Siska will come out ahead of Dazzy Oz, then Mr. Alcon, then actually exited just behind, but he's obviously 4 laps down. Mike Fernando coming across the line. Ooh, what has happened to Nostra, I wonder? Ooh, he's right behind Dangerous Janetta again.
Ooh, is he going to get the run here? Ooh!
Out of the final corner, Nostra against Dangerous Janetta. I think Dangerous Janetta has actually got this.
I think he certainly has.
Yep. Justin Mifsu just out of the iceberg, and there's actually a huge strain with Evan just at the end of that one. In P22, Emin Baba Oglu will be 23rd. Coming across the line in a bit. And Ricardo Machera will round out this particular race in P24. And Exeter has already stopped, obviously. So, yeah, it could be that Exeter is in pole position, but we're not certainly sure. Sometimes Assetto Corsa is surprising us with this particular outcome.
It does seem to be like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's very fun.
Yeah, something if you saw some people that shouldn't be there and some people that should be there but weren't there. But it all has its purpose, I guess. But the story of this race really, Hampus Soderberg winning the singles championship, and we don't know for sure. I can't be, I don't really want to do the maths for the team championship now, but I guess Team Somi has definitely extended the lead in the championship again to RPM Esports. I wonder if it is enough already. I don't think so yet, but yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah. It's gonna be probably probably will be secured in the next race, as we actually will have the gridding for the next race, and we will see if exited will be reversed for this one.
Yes.
Also, hello to Justin in the chat. Hello, Justin from Ycoms-Gaming. Now, I'm not driving; I'm commentating together with Phil. And Phil, I guess you have to go down to the, you know, pace car duties again.
Yes, I can do that.
And I will retire to. Yeah, I will try to retire my car this time, I guess. So let's see how this plans out. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the grid right now because cameras issues and blah blah blah. But as far as I'm aware, it should be the case that Exited is on pole position, and I think this is actually the case, as I can see Ricardo Machera's car there in the distance. Let's see. Yes, it is Exited in pole position. So this is actually a good, good opportunity for Exited to gain some points again on Keith Camilleri, obviously, who gained lots of points on him in this race in the battle for P2 in the championship. As we are waiting for these, for these 50 seconds, so we can start the formation lap. And once again, we have Evan quite far up the order, which obviously had quite an eventful second race round Laguna Seca. So it's going to be interesting how these drivers will plan out. I would assume, anyway, under normal circumstances, Exited should be able to pull away quite easily if he has a good start to the race. And then really everything can happen, as it is normally the case in this league in these second races. So we've only got 3 more races left in this season. The final race for this particular round, round number 7, round the Toscana circuit. And so we're waiting for these lights to go out, and then we will go to see what Phil will do on this. Well, Phil will not do anything interesting. We'll just drive the green Lambo around. And here we go. Formation lap has started. Everyone will take it very, very cautiously. Single filed. Trying to warm up the tires maybe a little bit, or keep them warm at least a little bit for this entire lap. And well, it's actually interesting. Last time out, we saw Hampus Soderberg leaving quite a big gap to Phil before we came into the final corner to start the race, and then he actually waited quite long as well, which is probably quite beneficial, really, because the first corner is quite early after the start-finish straight. So I guess the leader doesn't really want to, accelerate too early, to just make sure everything goes alright. I think everyone has gone through this first couple of corners. So let's have a look at the order then. It is Exited will be leading the way. Ricardo Machera in third. Then we've got Evan in third. No, actually, it should be Eamon Babaoglu in third. Then Evan in fourth. Then we've got Berserkmir, Meekster, the Iceberg, Justin Mifsud, Nostra, and Dangerous Gianetta rounding up the top 10. And I guess you can see the rest of the field there. Astrid Aslani will be at the back of the field because he did not finish the race, as he was in the pits at the end of it. Hampus Soderberg starting from P26. I think we started with 29 drivers for the first race, now down to 27 drivers, with obviously Morvik having issues, and someone else, which I can't remember anymore, also not finishing this first race. Still quite a little bit in the lap to go, really, for Phil to lead these drivers, as we're coming now into this very, very, narrow section with the elevation, really, where the elevation comes in. Then we will go into this left-hander, which is basically on the top of a hill, and then goes downwards again into the tunnel. And I guess now, in a bit, there we go. Exit will just leave Phil. Let's see actually how Phil does this. Obviously, we don't really want the pace car to crash. That's not what we want. His bonnet actually looks very, very weird from this camera angle, so we're gonna stop with that. And exited. This is his chance, I guess, to get another well, season win. It's all about securing second in the championship for him at this stage. Really, nothing else. Riccardo Machera will start behind him. Let's see if Exited will.
He's still on the track.
Oh, still on the track. My God, I forgot it again. There we go. Just ignore me at my brain. Anyway, round number 7, race number 2 will be on the way very, very shortly as Exited will floor it as we go to the line. And he is on the way. And he has maintained the lead in front of Riccardo Machera. There is a lot of action going on. There is Dangerous Ginetta spinning after contact with, I think that might have been Mr. Alcon. And there is, oh, there's a contact between Matt as well. That is some of the Team Suomi cars round as well. I'm not sure who that was.
That is Hampus.
Oh, that is actually Hampus. Sort of.
He's done a celebratory donut too early.
That is a little bit unfortunate, I have to say. But away goes Exited. He had a clean start, and now it is probably him will be pulling away from the rest of the field. Evan is going to be under pressure here from Berserkmere into the carousel. As long as he stays high and Berserkmere doesn't well, use any push to passes, he should be fine.
It's the first lap, so there shouldn't be any push to passes.
Yep, definitely. And Nikimido defending the position against Sansuke, I think it was. Oh, Berserkmere actually on the push to pass now against Evan. Up the inside. And that's the move done for P number 4 for the moment, as there's battling going on in, well, ahead of them. Riccardo Machera and Bemin Babaoglu very, very close together. And this whole field is really bunching up behind P2 here, as we expected. And Exited is already leading by 3 seconds, as they nearly go 3 wide there. In the background, that is Silvaro just on the inside. And then we've got Keith Camilleri, and that is Mike Rander going on around the outside of 2 people there. What a fantastic move from him. And Silvaro is just boxed in there in the background, just can't move anywhere really. And Sansuke makes up the position against Keith Camilleri. And someone who's really lost out from this is Silvaro, really. He lost like 6 positions in like 2 corners.
It's a lot of positions to lose in 2 corners, but he made up a nice move back against Non-Runner, who was attempting to attack Tom Bridle, but unfortunately had to lose out to the car behind instead. But yeah, all these guys are literally just fighting and fighting and fighting. I have no idea where to look, to be honest.
No, definitely not. Evan losing another position to Meekstad, now under pressure with Nostra. Nostra around the outside into the hairpin. He might actually be able to do that one. Very nice move there from Nostra up into P number 6.
Yeah, the banking on the hairpin allows that. If you can just about keep throttle in without running wide. Evan's going to lose another position here to a couple. Oh, he's going to be tapped. He's going to be tapped. He's going around. Oh, this could be bad if people don't see this. Hopefully people see it all coming on. Yeah, I guess. Guys, watch out. No. There's a few people still causing. that was a little bit of an awkward one there. Cars go around on basically a blind apex and you just don't really see them, and then you just constantly one after the other you get people hitting. But there were a few people doing a good job to avoid, but yeah, that's a lot of people that have just been caught up in that unfortunate incident.
Yep, definitely can happen. This was nearly 3 wide into that corner.
Yeah, it's all Berserkmere here on Riccardo Machera. Oh, that's a lovely attempt at a movie. Now he's on the outside of this, but that means he's going to be on the inside. This is really good racing between the 2 teammates here.
Well, sister teammates anyway.
Sister teammates. Evan Babaoglu, obviously the teammate of Berserkmere behind.
Yeah.
Riccardo Machera, who is now under pressure from Meekster actually. Meekster is on the outside of it, and he has so much more momentum. I expect him to be ahead before they even get to this corner. Oh no, he doesn't. No, Evan does a really good job of fighting back, and Meekster has to back out of it. In fact, Evan's done such a good job, but he's now on the attack perhaps of Riccardo Machera. Around the outside here, surely not. Gonna switch back under perhaps though. No, he's actually going to try around the outside here. This is going to be compromised on the apex. Contact perhaps between the 2 of them, yes, a little bit.
And
no, this is going to be Meekster's chance.
Oh my god, nearly 4 wide in the background.
Oh boy, look at that. Mr. Alcon, always sandwiching between the two. All of those sister teammates, all of them together, basically on the track at this point. Look at them all. There's so many. Oh, that's going to be contact between the two teammates there, and then the sister teammates. It looks like they're all going to be able to avoid Emin Babooglu, though, who has gone round. But there's so many things going on. But all those teammates' cars were all together at the time there.
Yeah, definitely. Nostra against Keith Camilleri here. Up the inside goes Nostra, very deep on the brake steps. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, again.
And again. And Iceberg's round as well behind. They're both having to sit there and wait for all the cars to come past, unfortunately, for both of those two.
Oh, man.
They just sat there still. And
oh, my God. What's going on? Microlander has just come out of nowhere and took many positions off of that one to take P number 7, but there comes Terence Gretsch.
Now is he going to do the Mr. Alcon? He's attempting it, he's going left, and yeah, he looks like, but I don't know if he's got enough speed. He just went a bit too early, and that's actually going to be watching behind for Nick Meadow, I think, the Microlander that he's going to watch out for, perhaps. Not quite close enough. Someone that's gone pretty well on the opening laps is Sansuke. He's up into 4th.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Already up into 4th. That is incredible from Sansuke. He's not had a better start to his second race ever, really, this season, as the battle is still going on behind between Nick Meadow and Microlander. Tom Bridle now in there as well. He's having actually a wiggle that's getting Sisu Voima in the mix as well.
Yeah, he just had to lift off the throttle because he got a bit too close to the car behind ahead, who is Nick Meadow, who is now making the move, attempting the move at least anyway, on Microlander, who has had a great start. Microlander on the outside, both running side by side through this long right-hander. Looks like Microlander's just going to back out a bit, is he? He's running a bit wide. He's going to have a really bad... Oh, that's contact. They're going to hit the wall. They're into the wall. Evan with Sisu Voima as well. Evan around the outside of Sisu Voima here on the exit, running down the straight. He's having a better exit. Around the outside in his non-runner as well there with Sisu Voima. Voima, I think, had to check up because of the cars ahead. His non-runner able to make this move stick. This is tricky. This is tricky. He's no contact between the two. That's nice driving from the pair of them. Is now Keith Camilleri. He's looking at non-runner. A little bit too much to do in this corner to make the move. But it's Matthias Silva. Look at this. I thought he was going to get on the inside of the hairpin. He's now going to the outside. He's braking a little bit early. Doesn't want to risk anything. It's actually Silva Arrow, in fact, attacking Matthias Silva now. Silva Arrow having a fight back. As well as all that's happening, Sansuke is finally going to get past... Well, I say finally. He's already got past Meekster. It's actually the way to say that. Is up into the podium positions on lap number 5.
Mr. Alcon switchback incoming. This time it's going to be harder. Around the outside goes Mr. Alcon on Meekster. Can he do it? I think he does. Make it stick. Always in that oval, well, in the carousel section, Mr. Alcon always gains positions or defends positions. So far, ooh, wide there from.
Sansuke's off.
Yeah.
Well, this could be a move for Mr. Alcon then to take the podium. Although brakes a little bit early, Sansuke late, and he's going to run side by side, and Sansuke's going to have that position compromised through this right-hander, Mr. Alcon. Not going to be able to get it done. All Sansuke, it looked like he was going to run wide, but a nice little piece of curbing just arrived in time, so he didn't run off the track.
Oh!
Meeks makes contact with Dazios, and Dazios with Terence Gretsch, and Ricardo Machado gets past the pair of them. And Dazios all the way around, but he's got a lot of tarmac runoff here to work with to spin back round the normal way.
I was actually watching a different incident to Keith Camilleri and Hampus Soderberg.
Oh no!
And that puts Keith down into 17th position now. Hampus is with a lot of damage on his car, really. Now up into 12. Non-runner getting past Meekster. Another 2 Finns really battling for position, and now he's right behind Evan again. Evan, interestingly enough, was already down into 15th position or something, like 2 laps ago. Now he's up into 9th again.
Yeah, he was. I mean, it might be even further back than that. I think I saw him at like perhaps 17th, 18th, and yeah, he's done a good job to fight back. And now he's possibly, well, he's probably going to be looking at the car ahead of Ricciardo and thinking, yeah, I can take that. But he's probably looking at the car behind, thinking, seeing non-run, thinking, oh, maybe I can't defend that.
Yeah.
So he's in a bit of a anti-situation right now where he is faster than the guy ahead, but quicker guys are coming up from behind him still on lap 6. Even though he dropped so far back, he's then been able to repass those fast guys through a series of errors of others and just not keeping himself out of a little bit of trouble, I think, after the, was it lap 1 or 2 where he had the contact? I think it was lap 1.
Yeah, I think it was lap 1 as well.
There's Matt on Mattia Silva.
Yep.
There you go. Is he going to be able to do anything here? Is he going to take the inside line, or is he going to run it out to the outside? See, I always feel like I'd be a bit scared if I was the following car, because I feel like if you've got enough space and the car ahead just lifts off a slight bit, it could be Kenny Curtis, but Matt has the inside line here. Well, outside for this right-hander, but inside for the left, using the push to pass to just put his car in ahead. He's going to get ahead, but is he going to be able to maintain it? He's going to hit the grass, that's going to be the wall. And he does I tell you what, he does a good job again, that we saw one of the cars in the previous race not bounce off and run straight into the side of another car.
Ooh, Keith Camilleri wide though, as he tried to make the move again sideways through that corner is Keith Camilleri. Matthias Silva off track there as well. Tom Bridle up the inside, not quite. That's gonna give Matt now an opportunity as well to come back at Tom Bridle.
That's good stuff as we see Evan versus Ricardo Machado. A little bit of contact between the two of them. Non-runner is now going to have a run at Evan around the outside of this right-hander. It looks like he's probably going to be ahead. Evan's having to brake a bit. Yeah, non-runner's going to be ahead coming into this section of corners now. Evan will try to follow. Oh, he's run a bit wide. That could compromise with Meekster, although Meekster doesn't use all the track, so he actually compromised himself as non-runner. He's just straight past Ricardo Machado.
Yeah, with the push to pass as well.
No messing about, just straight through. And he probably used that push push because he knows there's a bit of a gap between him and the car ahead. He's now got clean air between himself and Sisu Voima. As that's Sansuke, and look at that, he's on Berserk with. Oh, slight contact between the two. Little bit of wheel banging, but that means Sansuke's going to have the outside only.
Yep, definitely. This is probably like the best, battle for the place after exit, because Exeter is leading by 16 seconds. Hampus Soderberg. What?
He wants to celebrate his championship early.
I believe that is a disconnect though, because he was like not really. I don't think he was off track or anything, really. At least what I believe. So Sansuke is still behind Berserkmere.
Well, he knows that it's unlikely that he's going to be able to catch Exited, short of some kind of issue for Exited.
Yeah.
So he can take his time here with Berserkmere. I don't think he's really worried about too many cars from behind. He's got his teammate behind. He's probably not going to pressure him a huge amount. Nick Mido obviously going pretty quick, but not obviously Sansuke. He's probably not going to be worried about the pace of any other guys based on where he finished. If Sisu Voima was closer, perhaps Sansuke would rush the move a little bit more, but he doesn't need to. He can take his time.
Yep, definitely. Especially since Mr. Alcon is already also like 3 seconds back almost. And I guess he's going to line up Berserkmere here for the main straight. Going past with the push to pass if possible. There we go. Oh, he's sitting in his gearbox almost. And yeah, here we go. Push to pass for Sansuke. No push to pass for Berserkmere. Up the inside goes the Finnish driver. And that is the move done for him into turn 1 if he can slow it down, and he does so. Sansuke up into second place. Oh, Terence Gretsch against Sisu Voima. Terence Gretsch running wide, and that gives Sisu Voima the position. A little bit unfortunate, because that could have been a very, very interesting battle, because Terence Gretsch was obviously very, very fast in that first race as well. Finishing P4, I think it was, in the end.
Indeed, I think that's the case. Is Evan finally makes the move on Ricardo Machado. Ricardo went a little bit wide on turn number 3, and that's allowed Evan to have a good run through 4 into 5. And actually, Keith Camilleri also looking to make the move on Ricardo. He's on the inside of this hairpin. This should be done. You'd imagine so anyway. I don't think it's too easy to hold it around the outside, and you just see Ricardo Machado loses that position. He's back. It's Tom Bridle now attacking. So Ricardo on there, all hold. Was that a push to pass from Tom Bridle coming out of there? Yeah. And he's actually going to be ahead into this corner. He's actually going to be able to use the carousel like a normal. Use the bank in the carousel to keep him there, and that's very nice.
Ricardo's still very close, but I think he's not close enough to really do anything into the corner. Although,
oh, I said that. Yeah, he runs wide. Ricardo then has to brake very heavily, and now it means Matt's now going to have a chance, and probably going to have the moves sorted. Matt coming back from obviously that unfortunate incident right at the start of the race where he got caught up with a slow car. He was one of the ones, along with Hampus and I'm not sure who else, but there were a whole lot of them just stopped straight at the early part of the race, so he's doing a good job to fight back up to 12th.
Yeah, definitely. So who have we got close on track still? Matt is obviously now closing in on Tom. Well, not obviously, but he's closing on Tom Bridle quite quickly here as well. Obviously, we don't know the damage levels of these cars. Obviously, Tom Bridle had an incident earlier with... Oof, I don't even know who it was. Was it Dazzy Oz? I don't even know. There was something going on with Tom Bridle. Oh yeah, that was obviously with Microlander, I think. Yeah, now I remember.
I'm going to take your word for it, Chris.
That's good. Yeah, it was in the long right-hander before the final corner. And it went straight into the wall.
Yeah.
I remember things sometimes. It's gonna be interesting. Battle for 9th though. I think Evan is definitely not really the fastest in this group who's coming up behind him. Keith, Camilleri, Tom Bridle, Matt. It's gonna be interesting if they can overtake the new driver in this league quickly, or if they're gonna struggle a little bit. Definitely the car who is actually at the back of this train has the most push to passes still available, which is Matt with 8. Ooh.
I've seen... what's going on there?
Something shaping up here between Mr. Alcon and Nick Meadow.
Oh, little tap. And actually Nick Meadow does the nice thing there and just lifts off throttle and doesn't attack him straight away. He's made the contact and he's just backed out. Nick Meadow looks like he's got some good pace right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Both of them have the pace on Berserkmere, so they're both catching Berserkmere at this point. Obviously Sisu Voima's right there as well. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's definitely a lot going on.
Evan looks like he's now starting to form the head of a train.
Oh my god! It's all kicking off again against him with the Hoonigans again. Riccardo Machera, Microlander and Nostra all behind each other, with David Siska and Astrid Aslani battling.
That's a lot of Hoonigans. They are all the Hoonigans, in fact. All the Hoonigan pinks, all in a row.
With probably the slowest out of the 3 in front.
And then Dazios, just to continue the Hoonigan theme, for all 4 of them. Four of the 6 Hoonigans running in tandem. And that's wide from those 2 ahead. David Siska and Astra Aslani is Riccardo Machera now under attack, and looks like Microlander is going to get Riccardo. Is Nostra going to attempt it here? He's a bit far back, but Riccardo's going to have a compromise line through this section of corners. And actually, he's opened it up quite nicely. As Nostra, there you go. He's attempting a late move as Riccardo moves to the left to open up the corner. Nostra tries to fit himself in. Not enough. Not enough. Is it enough here though? We've seen some late braking in here. He's a sort of trying. I think Riccardo might have just gone deep there rather than moving out of the way for a Nostrum attack. But now it's actually Dazioz that's attacking Nostra, and he's certainly going to have a chance to make a move on the inside here.
Well, it's way too wide from Nostra. He could have done a better job there at leaving a little bit less room maybe than that. He's going to lose him the position. He's on the push to pass though. Dazioz on the push to pass as well though. I'm not sure if this is going to work for Nostra really. Oh my god, he had to brake actually. And that's gonna slot him behind his sister teammate and his teammate.
In this case, as all that happens, Nick Meadow still battling with Mr. Alcott, but Sisu Voima has now really caught up, and they're both slightly closer to Berserkmere once again. It looks like Nick Meadow has the pace in certain areas of this track, and unfortunately for him, they're not quite the overtaking positions. But yeah, he's got a lot more pace through that corner, but then you sort of can't really do anything with it through here. You sort of sit behind and try and set it up for turn 1. But even that's difficult because you've got a car ahead of you that wants to put themselves in the way, and you can't really get on the throttle as much as you'd like.
Push to pass now, mandatory. Yes, he does it, but Mr. Alcon as well.
Not one from Sisu Voima, it looks like, though, so he's just going to drop back a bit.
That's probably the best. Microlander, no, Microlander. Nick Meadow. Ooh, that's so close into turn 1.
Close again through 2. Close again through 3. Oh, that's always risky. There's not really enough of a braking zone to move your car alongside enough. But now, Mr. Alcon, is he going to go defensive here? Is Nick Meadow going to attempt the move? Surely he's going to attempt something, you'd imagine. Or both run a bit deep. Sisu Voima now perhaps going to have the better exit. He's surely going to have a better exit. Nick Meadow has to get off the throttle to avoid Mr. Alcon on the dome. No, actually, somehow he's losing time to Nick Meadow, but he's still going to attempt the move here anyway into turn 1. He's done a really nice job to keep the speed through the apex, and he's actually out alongside Mr. Alcon. Surely not. Now Nick Meadow's there. Now, is this... Ooh.
Mr. Alcon was going to push the pass around on the exit, so that was not going to happen. Ooh, this is an interesting battle shaping up for third position, because despite all that battling, they're still closing up to Berserkmere here. Yeah.
They're having some good time. That's not really what Berserkmere wants. He doesn't want to see 3 cars coming at him. As Keith gets past Evan, but really it's looking at this battle here. Oh, there we go, running wide. Mr. Alcon a little bit. Cesar Vollmer to the outside. That is going to give Nick Meadow a run, but that's going to be into the outside of this left-hander over the hill, which isn't ideal. As although he's got enough, and Cesar Vollmer's going to have to just back off the throttle a little bit, and that means he's going to run side by side. But he's not quite got the run downhill. And actually, Cesar Vollmer's on the push to pass again.
And again, we've got a similar situation that what we had in the first race. Nick Meadow sitting behind someone with push-to-passes available, while the others are not having those available anymore. Mr. Alcon 1, Cesar Vollmer 2.
See, that could pay into perhaps trying to pass Berserkmere as well. How many does Berserkmere have?
7.
Yeah, so that could be trouble. Oh, here we go. Cesar Vollmer versus Mr. Alcon into turn 1, side by side. Cesar Vollmer on the outside.
He actually does it. Does he make the move stick? Does Cesar Vollmer? That would be incredible. And he actually does it.
Very nice. There's Nick Meadow now attacking Mr. Alcon. Here we go. He's alongside a little bit into this hairpin. He's going to be able to brake late. Over the bump, the bit it just unsettles the car a little bit. I would imagine. Oh, yeah, got to watch out for that as well. As yeah, Nick Meadow might actually lose the position here, perhaps. No, he's got the inside still though. Oh, contact between the two. A little bit of bump, just telling each other that they're both there.
It's so close. It's so close.
Surely this is going to be.
Nick Meadow, take the push to passes, for God's sake. That would have been an opportunity down the inside.
Well, maybe he knows though. It's Mr. Alcon. You cannot pass Mr. Alcon on the inside of that corner because he'll just get you back on the exit.
Mr. Alcon using his final push to pass now. He's a sitting duck here on the last 3 laps here against Nick Meadow and Terence Gretsch. Cesar Vollmer, I think, is in the prime position really to take this 3rd place away from Berserkmere, even though he only has 1 push to pass left. So I guess Berserkmere might still have a chance to defend this, even though he might be considerably slower.
Yeah, that's just the nature of having those push passes saved. He's had not really much battling to do for a while now, so he's had a lot of time to just keep those in his pocket for the time to use them in the right. When Cesar Vollmer and Mr. Alcon and Nick Meadow and Terence Gretsch all potentially catch up.
Nick Meadow is not getting these exits right out of the final corner really. The last few laps. Can he go up the inside of Mr. Alcon now? Mr. Alcon going defensive. It's not going to work.
I just try to set him up for the next bit though. Keep him left, go left, and then he goes right, and then you go left. But he's going to sit on the apex. Mr. Alcon actually does a really nice job defensively there. Nick Meadow never had enough space to get the car changed to the right. And now he's going to watch out for Terence Gretsch. They're both all sort of looking around in all directions. At this point, is Nick Meadow, he's going to run a little bit wide. Terence Gretsch is going to have a chance. He's going to force him out wide, is he? No.
No push to pass from either of the two. Oh, Nick Meadow's so late on the brakes and he slows it down.
And whilst this is happening, Cesar Vollmer has passed Berserkmere.
Oh, he has.
So he's done that.
Oh, Terence Gretsch on the push to pass. Is that going to be a good idea? Up the inside, here he goes.
Oh, this is going to run wide. He's going to run wide. That was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Is he going to lose any positions? No.
No.
Not run this too far back. Whew. That could have ended much nastier for both of them there.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna give Nick Meadow an opportunity against Mr. Alcon up the inside. There we go. And he has made it, stick has he? Mr. Alcon is still there, he's still there.
Mr. Alcon using a bit more than the track to keep himself alongside him. It looked like, because Nick Meadows going to tap him a little bit there and lifts off, and this is all great for Berserk.
This is brilliant for him. Absolutely brilliant drive from Berserkmere so far. Kept his nose clean all race long. And he might be on for a very, very good result. This might be his first top 5 finish ever. And Nick Meadow, again, final corner. He needs to get a better run after final corner. This time he has managed.
Surely this is it. This is the one.
It's still around the outside, but he is basically ahead coming into turn number 1. Mr. Alcon is
have to super late on the race, and he cannot do it. But he's going to be have a better line through here. We had to take too much speed, and Mr. Alcon's going to have a better exit out here. But he obviously does not have any push passes to attack anymore.
To the corner we go, and yeah, Nick Meadows going to run it wide there, and that's not going to be anywhere to go for Mr. Alcon, and I think Nick Meadows has a good chance here to hold on to 5th position. They're still so close behind. Terence Gretsch with the final push to pass once again in this corner. Can he do it this time? I think I'm foreshadowing against that this could be a similar story than what happened before.
He's caught onto it this time, and he's lifted off through the corner. He's actually wasted that push to pass there, and in fact lost time by using it.
Definitely.
In fact, it's non-runner that's going to have the move done on Terence Gretsch.
Whoa. It's a very tight corner there. Very ugly in my opinion to go up the inside there, but non-runner does it anyway. Up into 7th position for non-runner. 2 quiet races, 2 solid races for him. 2 top 10 finishes. Very, very important points for Marlborough as well, especially since he is basically, with David Siska, the only car still left in the championship after News Pujava has unfortunately pulled out of the league.
Yeah, it's always sad to lose a driver through a league, but it is what it is. As Exeted starts his final lap.
Yeah, we've not seen the German driver at all really this today, but that is, you know, okay, I guess. First race obviously disastrous after such a good start from P6 up into P4 straight away, and he might actually go for faster lap. He's running quite a little bit wide there.
Perhaps as non-runner versus Mr. Alcon, similar situation as the lap before with Nick Meadow. Mr. Alcon on the inside, but obviously defenses with the used to push to pass. Sorry, and that's pretty much the exact same result. Can he switch back? Actually, non-runner does it slightly differently than how Nick Meadow did, and runs it a little bit tighter through there, and that means he had a better exit. So there's not much chance for Mr. Alcon to fight back. Although non-runner feels the need to go defensive, that's going to let him run wide. Mr. Alcon kind of just drives into non-runner there a little bit. Non-runner still on the inside slightly. Mr. Alcon just dives across. Oh, chops the nose off non-runner. All fair and love and war, but who's that on the outside?
That is Terence Gretsch.
Well, he's on the outside this time and not the inside, so he won't be going for that move. Oh, yeah, that's so tight between the wall and the cars, but not much space there. But he's just about occupying a little bit, surely. Woo. That is risky. That is risky from Terence Gretsch, but it looks like it's going to pay off. Mr. Alcon, is he going to be able to... Oh, that's late on the brakes. He's alongside.
Yeah.
He's run a bit wide there. Non-runner... Oh, Terence Gretsch is going to be into the wall. Properly into the wall there, unfortunately. He's lost so much time. Mr. Alcon is stopping as well to let him back through. That's going to lose him a whole heap of positions to many of the cars behind Matt as well, perhaps. I think, yeah, he's running off Evan as well. Evan moving up into 9th. But it's exited around the final corner.
To win another race in the season. I think this might be his 3rd win of the season, and surely the 2nd in championship will be, well, he will be the favourite ahead of Keith Camilleri. Hassan Suke, incredible drive from him into 2nd place, and Sisu Weimar once again on the podium. Berserkmere won an unbelievable performance with 5 push to passes actually left still. And then Nick Meadow, 2 top 5s here today. another one really to congratulate for this really good performance. Good push to pass usage as well, in my opinion, today, especially Keith Camilleri coming home in 7th after a few issues here and there. Matt with a good recovery drive as well. Evan coming home in 9th, actually fending off Terence Gretsch, Mr. Alcon, and Astrid Aslani. And Nostra has actually made the pass on Dazios on the final corner.
Nice. Well played from Nostra.
Just a miss at the end of that group. Then Silver Arrow obviously also caught up in some incidents here and there. The Iceberg as well. That was together with the Nostra incident, I think. Then Ricardo Machera, unfortunately, once again not quite able to get it with the pack really. But he had some good moments here and there really, especially with all the Hoonigan cars going side by side. Literally every Hoonigan car ever in the picture. So that was very interesting. And Emin Babaoglu and Dangerous Janetta. Not a good day for Dangerous Janetta. Oh my god. As Emin has actually disconnected, I think so anyway. And that's gonna give Dangerous Janetta a position. I'm not sure if it's gonna make any changes, but I guess it won't. So I am not sure how this whole plans out with the team championship. I'm just gonna say now that Team Suomi has won it. I'm pretty sure they have.
I would imagine you're probably.
I mean, nah, actually, you know, you can like gain, I don't know, you can gain like 250 points per race, or 500 points. No, not 150
No,
points.
it's like 150. Yeah.
Okay,
so you need
okay,
about 300-ish, 270 or so.
Okay, they were already 360 or something ahead before this race, so I guess
Okay.
that is basically what that is basically secured as well for them.
I would expect that would be the case.
So we're gonna leave this session and try to Uppala. Can I do it?
I'm gonna try to Uppala. I don't know what that means.
Oh my god, what the hell? I hope you can't see what I'm seeing. No, it's actually alright. So, from this second race you can see exited one race 13 seconds ahead of Sansuka. Sansuka was actually closing the gap there a little bit, but you know, not really substantially to any kind of things. Suzu Voima once again in 3rd position. Then we've got Berserkmir in 4th, Nick Mido in 5th, non-runner Keith Camilleri, Matt, Evan and Terence Gretsch rounding up the top 10. A lot of people actually had 2 strong races here today. Sansuke, Suzu Voima, non-runner Terence Gretsch, partly at least, and Nick Mido, really. And this is the first race as well, which Hampus Soderberg has not finished in the top 10, probably. Or top 5 even.
That's unfortunate for him for this race, but it shows just how impressive it is that it's the first time and we're at the penultimate round.
Yeah, definitely. So, I guess we will have a certain thing to do here again at the end of the broadcast, as we usually have to. Well, have to. It's a pleasure to do it, Phil, isn't it?
I do it very well. I'm very active at this point.
You are, you know, definitely asking the most interesting questions. All right.
I remember the last time.
I'm not sure if Hampus Soderberg is here. He is actually not. That's a little bit unfortunate. Oh no, he's actually here. No, he's not. No, he's not. No. Hampus is actually not here, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Well, we'll have to get him in next week.
Yes, definitely. In that case, I guess we should go for other people. We could go for Sansuke. We haven't talked to Sansuke in a while, I guess.
Sansuke would probably be a good choice, yeah. Was he for 2 podiums, right?
Yes, definitely.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
2nd and 3rd. 3rd and 2nd, better say, in the right order. I want to also get Nick Mido in, to be honest, for these 2 races, and then I don't know, Berserkmir maybe, because we never have Berserkmir. If he's actually here, I'm not sure if he is. Well, anyway, let's have a look at Sansuke here first. If he doesn't leave, he just left. the faff thing. Oh no, he's actually ready for the interview box. There we go. Hello, Sansuke.
Hello.
Oh, we haven't talked to you in a while, I guess, but today you had two very, very good races. How did you feel about them?
Well, that was quite unexpected. I didn't really think this track might suit this car, but it was actually good, quite good, even though it wasn't so fun to drive, but there was so many overtaking opportunities that it was quite fun, especially the second race.
Yeah, definitely. You had a fantastic, you know, run in that second race. How did you avoid all the carnage going on?
I have no idea. I finally had some luck. I have been involved in every major collision in the first lap, basically. So this time I just avoided it, and well, it ended up to be quite a good race in the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked a little bit. We talked a little bit about your season, really. Many ups and downs, really. Not, you know, many of them not really your fault in the end. But I think we are not 100% sure because we haven't done the exact maps. But could it be that Team Suomi has actually gotten the team championship as well 1 week before the actual finish?
Maybe. There was a quite big gap already, and I think it is the RPM sport or something.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't get too many points, so I guess it's already ours as well.
Yeah, you were over 350 points ahead, and I think after this round you would need to be like 300 points ahead. And I don't think our PM Esports gained really a lot. You definitely outscored them by quite a bit in the first race, and I think the second race was actually better for them. But I guess, you know, I'm just gonna congratulate you now, I guess, for that achievement.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Yeah, I guess with that said, well done once again on the podiums, and good luck for the final round next week.
Thank you very much.
Right, that has been Sansuke, everybody. Gonna move him back into the lobby. And we wanted to have who?
Nick Meadow?
Oh yeah,
Nick Meadow?
Yeah, Nick Meadow. Because Berserkman is actually not here. There's just a bit Nick Meadow. Nick Meadow? Yes, Nick Meadow. Pull Nick Meadow in here. Hello.
Hello.
We were really impressed with you today. 2 top 5 finishes. I think might be the overall best performance you've ever had in this league.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I always said that most of the time I had one good race and one it wasn't so good. But yeah, it was really fun today.
So where did that came from?
I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, I had decent pace in the first race and yeah, a nice battle then with Tom Bridle. And yeah, the second race I got really lucky. There were a few incidents and I could avoid all of them. So I was like P9 or so after 3 laps, I think. And yeah. And then we had a great battle again with Mr. Alcon and the train.
that was really cool to watch. We saw some very good push to pass management for you as well towards the end of the race. Did you like, you know, I don't know, are you the type of guy in general who like tries to save the push to passes for better opportunities towards the end of the race, or just you know, I don't know, like spontaneous decisions made where you know would pass basically people with the push to pass?
Yeah, to be honest, in the first race I forgot about them a little bit in the first few laps. That's pretty easy to do, in my opinion. But yeah, yeah, normally I like it to have them at the final lap, so you can, yeah, you know, give the guys in front some pressure and yeah, hopefully make the move. And it really paid out for me today to save them for the final laps.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, 2 top 5 finishes also very good points for the team. I'm not exactly sure where your team is at the moment in the championship, but I guess you scored some decent points for that, for them, yeah, at least.
I think we're 6th in the championship, but yeah, unfortunately, Domino and Heinz weren't there today, so
Yeah, true.
was a little bit of a lonely fighter, but that wasn't too bad.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, once again, congrats on these two very, very good results, and good luck for the final round of the season next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, that has been thingy. Nick Miro, anyone else we want to talk to? We've got Evan in here, we've got Microlander, we've got Nostra, we've got Sisu Voima, we've got the Iceberg, and we've got Tom Bridle. You can choose.
Have we talked to Sisu?
Yes, last week.
We did last week. I don't remember things.
What do you think?
I think if I wasn't attempting to drift this Lamborghini safety car around
Yes.
Toscana, I'd probably focus a bit more.
Oh,
I'm very good at my job.
that's very good. So I should make this decision then.
I think that, yeah, because I've already forgotten who you said. The only one that I can remember is Evan. I don't want to interview Evan.
You don't want to interview Evan. Well, I guess Evan or something can have the final word. So I don't know what, but I guess in that case we might as well get Sisu Voima in, really, because 2 podiums as well for him is pretty good, I guess. So I guess we will get him in. Hello, Sisu Voima.
Hello.
We obviously talked to you last week already, but once again, you had some 2 very, very good races. How was the carnage in the second race and the first few laps to deal with?
I must apologize, Hampus. There was that incident, and I really couldn't do anything. I didn't saw him coming like Hamilton in Mexico there, but yeah, I managed to avoid the most of it. But yeah.
Yeah, we didn't quite top what we saw. We saw Hampus just flying off into the distance at one point, but we didn't really see the exact incident there. But there's obviously, things that can happen.
No, that incident was at the second race.
I was in the second race. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
First race he was way too quick. I couldn't. Well, maybe at the middle I was catching him a little bit. Maybe at least it felt like that, but
I mean, with 2 podiums, really, once again, I guess you can't really be too disappointed. What was going on with the battle again? We were in a scrap with Nick Mido, with Berserkme and stuff like that. What was your mindset going into these final couple of laps?
I liked it really a lot, and it was fun and close racing. And there was a few times I was, oh no, this is not going to end up well. Yeah.
That's definitely very, very good to see. I mean, once again, congratulations on these 2 very, very good results, and good luck for the final race.
Thanks.
Right, gonna push you back down as well. And Phil, are you ready for the final word? Well, no, actually, final words for Phil for this. For this, then final words from me, and then final words from Laxo. Go.
Okay. The Lamborghini is fun to drift. We've had a good race here at Toscana, and I look forward to the final race next week.
I do certainly. Congratulations once again for Hampus Soderberg. And surely you have to be in the commentary box tomorrow. Tomorrow? Next week, because we need to have a championship interview with you. Thank you very much. That has been from me, and Laxo has the final words right now.
Have you thought why I have not been here?
Huh?
Have you thought why I have not been here?
Why?
I was having a shit.
Know it.
Alright, if that's it, goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching.